Hello, everyone. My name is Brock Snarski. I'm a health, fitness, and recreation major, and I volunteered at the YMCA. Now, at the YMCA, they have many things you can do there. There's many classes you can do. I sat in on some personal training classes where they were actually strength training women, and which they were doing that for I think 6 weeks at the time I was there. So they had made pretty great progress. One girl actually in her squat went from I believe it was 220 all the way up to 290, which is tremendous. And she wasn't a very big girl at all. She was just very strong right off the bat, and I commended her for what she was doing because I can barely get above 300 myself, and she was just repping it out like it was nothing. It was amazing. The strength trainer there was Austin Klaus. He's been there for 2 years now, and he personal trains and then also does that strength and training class, and then he also does a couple other classes like TRX, and I can't think of the other one right now, but yeah, he's there all day. Uh, he's fantastic with his clients. Uh, Very intuitive, always wanting to know more about them. He even asks them just regularly about their day and even about their kids and their family and stuff, who he knows in town. So that's really awesome for him to be able to know that with his clients. Um, from a health communication standpoint, it's always fantastic to be very sociable with the person that you're working out with. That helps you get to know their interests, helps you get to know like everything outside of the gym that is very important to them, which is also important to their health. Not just being able to work out and be healthy like that, but also nutrition, their social life. What are they doing on a regular basis besides the gym to be healthy? So that's what you need from a health and fitness center. Also, I worked with Jake. He's a jujitsu master there. He's also a karate master. He teaches yoga classes as well. And also, he teaches, what's the last class? I think it's a basic combat class, which is pretty cool. I didn't take that one, but I did take jujitsu, uh, yoga, and karate. Uh, in yoga, he's very like soothing in class. His voice kind of like calms everyone. He doesn't get too high or too low. It's nice and like deep. So he says that kind of brings you to a center in a way. Like it draws you to his voice, so you can focus on one thing at a time. So you can focus on that and your breathing. I know that's two things, but he says like focus on one thing at a time, so you can focus on him, and then from there you can focus on your breathing. So just wipe everything away from your mind, and that is great from a health communication standpoint because being able to clear your mind on a daily basis will help you to think clear, make choices quicker. Decision making is that much better. You're able to decide from a good from a bad decision, and that's every day in business and like basketball, sports, anything you can think of. You need that to be able to get a peace of mind and correlate that to your everyday life. And then he taught us some really cool moves. He kind of goes from like beginner stage all the way up to really hard stages. So if you can't do the hard stages, at least you can do the first two stages of his class, which are like beginner, and then from there you can most people can do uh, the like the medium stage or the mild stage of yoga. But then there's like an advanced stage where you're just holding poses forever and they're in awkward ways. And then in jujitsu class, uh, I really like how he kind of gets down to your level in jujitsu. He's not like an overbearing master. He kind of like works with you and even will spar with you, which kind of helps in you doing the movements because he knows what a person should feel when they're being thrown. and so he can teach you to how to do that, or what to feel and how to throw them better, or like how to punch them better, make good contact, or even just getting your footing correct while making moves. Um, he had like 3 people in his class, uh, and they were all like teenage kids, and so it was kind of a more advanced class. All the kids had taken his karate class, which has pretty much just 10-year-olds and under. So it's really hectic in that class. I'll tell you about that in a second. Uh, but in his jujitsu class, he kind of gave everyone more freedom to do what they need to do with the moves, so you can work on them with each other, but also follow his system. He states a lot that when becoming a master, uh, you're actually trying to uh, take all the moves that you've learned and use them in different ways. That's how he became a master from his sensei, because he said at the time when he was sparring with him, you train over your moves day in and day out, and then finally he used one of the moves in a different way, and he was talking about it with his master or his sensei, and he's like, "You're a sensei now. You're teaching me things, so you have the right to teach everybody else what I've taught you." And so that's how he got his basically like sensei-ship in a way. There's really no other way to do it from what he's saying. You have to be just deemed like a master by somebody else, and that's how you get your like the highest belt you can. Uh, and then also in his karate class with all those little kids, what he really brought to mind to me from a health communication standpoint is that parents would just drop their kids off and not really pay much mind to like the class, or really care too much about the class, or want their kids to be disciplined in it at all. They were kind of just dropping them off for like 2 hours so they could get away. And he kept stating that even though these kids are like very chaotic and very impatient and won't, like, sometimes he just has to totally stop class and stand there so they can pay attention to him. And he says doing that kind of made him more of a patient person. And so what I took away from that is uh, he said that he was trying to instill disciplining these kids from a young age, so that later on, even if they don't take karate or jujitsu or any other martial art, at least that they'll have what I taught them in this classroom. So he took every day as still important, even though everything was chaotic and hectic, to try to instill like some discipline or some like just like ground rules in these kids, so later on in life they can build off those and be successful outside of martial arts, or like outside of the classroom. They can apply that to every day, that nothing's really going to be just handed to you. You kind of have to work to be better at it. And that's what he was trying to tell them. You're not going to be good at this from like day one. It takes a long time. And that's what little kids kind of can't understand, but at least he was very much trying, and that helps out a lot more than, not just being a babysitter for 2 hours and having them do punches and kicks all the times, and not all the time, and not teaching them really anything. So that's what I've learned from my time at the Y. Feel free to give me some feedback, and thank you for your time.